Okay, we're live, and Larry's Larry's still going with Jason, but I'm sorry, I got to get everything turned off. I usually turn my cell phone off at the beginning, and I failed to do that. So I'm sorry. Just give me a second to get things quiet here. I have to sorry about that. I didn't get the volume off my phone because I was listening to Jason from my cell phone. So, oh dear. And I had Larry live on my cell. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Folks, I got to tell you, Larry needs financial help today, and he won't want me telling you this, but his situation is pretty crucial at this point. So if anybody can do anything to help, his PayPal account is last name only, nicholslive@aol.com. And the website nicholslive.com has his address for mailing cash only. He cannot cash any checks, and he can't cash money orders, can't cash certified checks, nothing like that. He can only get cash in the mail. 58 Kensington Drive, Conway, Arkansas, 72034. It's on the website, nicholslive.com. If you want to donate some other way and need another suggestion, you text a message to 240-499-6729. I cannot put it in the chat because my 6 does not work on my computer. So, and I didn't copy it to be able to do it ahead of time. So 240-499-6729 if you need an alternative way to help. I did send Larry the link, and he's going to be on with Jason until they are wrapping up. So he'll be here soon. I want to say thank you. I want to say a big thank you to anybody and everybody who has donated any amount, from $1 to thousands, whatever you have done for Larry. It is so greatly appreciated. Folks, if socialism comes, we lose our bank accounts. We lose that. They have a way, communism has a way of confiscating anything and everything. So those of us who think we're trying to hold on to something just in case, and we're trying to protect, don't count on it. So here's Larry. Hey, Larry.
I'm here.
Okay.
And folks, we have got an abbreviated show today. I don't know if Ellen has told you, but we've got to. Well, today is going to be a short day because I had to do Jason, and something has come up. Plus, my voice is getting weak, and there's nothing I can do about it. So we will be a little bit short today as far as time.
And if I have somebody coming in the front door, I have to quickly exit the back door. So
okay,
that's what we're referring to, that we have to keep it short. They're supposed to come at the bottom of the hour, at the half hour. So
anyway, if you have an abrupt ending to today's show, you'll know it was something that just has to happen. So forgive us, please. All right, today we are here. Today, the main thing I want to point out is we're lucky. This is one of the days when we are lucky that we have President Trump as our president. Because what's going on today that would normally go on, I should say, what normally goes on when you've got all eyes in America watching the hurricane, and it occupies everything, then you'll find that the deep state, Washington, takes advantage of these times. And that's when they push through and do work on things that if we knew about them, we would raise Cain. But since we don't know about them, they've got a free pass to pull it off.
I heard a little bit ago, Larry, that they were planning on working on gun legislation today and called it off because of the hurricane.
Well, that's good. Here's what's going to happen with the gun legislation. Most of you will notice or have noticed already that there is something different about the shooting in Odessa and other mass shootings that we've had. Usually within 24 hours, there is a full thrust of the Democrats pushing for control. Here we go. I'm getting a call, so it's going to hold on. So I'm knocked off now. Am I back?
You're here.
All right. But you'll notice in 24 hours, we didn't get the talk of gun control at the level we normally do. Why? That's because, hold on just 1 second. I'm on a show and you're knocking me off. Shut up and get off.
That's funny. We're waiting for you, Larry.
Am I here?
Yes, you're here. You didn't get knocked off.
God, I'm sorry. I got mad at this person keep calling.
Yep.
He's a telemarketer. So if I cussed or I said something ugly, forgive me. But anyway, so what happens? They didn't do the gun control like normal because this case blows up in their face. This guy failed the background check. This guy.
Oh, I failed the background check. He was allowed to have guns anyway. Um, I did a heads up that tomorrow is very much in question for what's going to happen. So here's Larry back.
Back again.
Hey, Larry, you're back.
They like today when everything's going wrong. But anyway, where I was at was everything towards gun control logic has failed. So this is what we've said over and over and over here. There is nothing you could do with gun regulation and gun control that would have stopped this guy from getting a gun. Bad guys are going to get guns. Someone called, said he was nuts, had a bunch of guns. That didn't help. They will see something, say something. Well, they did, and nothing happened. So what's going to happen now? They're going to contact the police. And the police are going to tell you, just hang on, it'll come. Well, they show records where we did get called, but you know what? There's nothing we can do. You know, just because somebody calls and says this stuff, there's nothing in reality we could do. And this is where the Democrats and even Republicans are going to come back with red flag laws. They're going to say, of course, which we've talked about before, they're going to come back and they're going to say, look, we must have the red flag laws so that when somebody does see something and they do say something, that something can be done immediately to get the firearms out of the hands of somebody that is potentially dangerous. You got it? It's coming. And this is probably one of the most dangerous choices that we have. I hope that the president thinks very carefully before he lets certain members of his family talk him into supporting red flag legislation. And I hope that he understands that if red flag legislation is passed, your neighbor could get mad at you because you mowed too much of their yard thinking you were mowing yours, call the police on you. And since they called the police and said you had weapons and that's why they can't be telling you about it, that the police then would be able to come and take your firearms. Not to mention, as I think we've discussed before, every soldier that's coming back from the Middle East that is technically diagnosed with PTSD or whatever, they won't be allowed to have firearms. If they can't have firearms, then can you hear me, Mary Ellen?
I can hear you clearly.
Well, if they can't have firearms, then the result there is going to be that they'll stop reporting to get treatment. They won't show up.
Right.
So
That's
you
already
see, guys,
Larry, that's already being discussed.
well, the ramifications of red flag laws are horrible, and we all have to be careful, and we have to try our best to not allow it. What you got, Mary Ellen?
Walmart. Pam says Walmart banned the sale of handguns and short barrel rifles in Alaska. There are no mass shootings here. Is this just a test market?
I don't know. I think it's just what they choose to do. You know, it's going to boil down, or it is at present. States can enact their own laws. It needs to be challenged in court. This is one of the cases where if a state enacts legislation to restrict private citizens' rights to own firearms, it needs to be challenged in court because it may be that constitutionally they can't do that. But it'll have to be challenged to be.
That's good to know because, you know, I don't know how many other blue states, but Maryland's got way too many gun laws already.
Well, it's going to happen. There is a line of delineation to what states can do, but then there's a point at which they are getting into Second Amendment issues, and they can't cross that line. So I don't know what it is. Now, if I understand correctly, that thing you're talking about in Alaska, that's just the Walmart store making that determination, right? That's not the state? Or did I hear you wrong?
No, she said it was Walmart. Oops, we lost Larry again. This is one of those days. They don't like us talking about guns, I guess. Good grief. So, can't possibly let the truth be heard, right? Yikes. Paul, as soon as possible, I'll try to get to that question about the Iranian generals planning for war. Let's see if you can come back. There we go. You're back.
I'm sorry, y'all. My battery is getting so low from having been on with Jason, so that's part of the reason I keep getting partly knocked off. The other just people, telemarketers calling left and right this time of day. Now, what I'd ask was the case in Alaska, was that the Walmart stores saying they're not going to do those, or was it a state?
Walmart.
All right. Private businesses can choose to sell any or not sell any particular firearm they want. They can.
And of course, we know that there's going to be pressure put on them.
Right. Well, I'm sorry, I don't feel good. This is all going to boil down when it's all said and done. It's all going to boil down to whether or not we can hold out long enough for the 2020 election. That's what it's down to. You see every day challenges coming, and we're going to have a government in place to be able to once and for all get us back on the Constitution and get us back as a country living the way we should. If we don't, we're through. You know, I have failed in so much in my life. I mean, so many of the things I did and have done, I thought for some reason at the time it's a good idea. I thought it was the right reasons. Looking back, I can't change it. I've tried lying to myself over the years about my motives, but at the end of it all, the truth is, I did things I shouldn't have for what I thought was this country. I did, but you have to understand, I was told by people to whom that I thought were in a position of authority that had the right to tell me, and upon giving that order, I had to do it. For all of that, I'm ashamed. I don't know that I could have done anything about it then, but that may be just me using the 11th commandment, thou shalt not rationalize. I may just be trying to rationalize out my soul to make it hurt less. But through it all, I can tell you all this. Twice in my life, twice, I was involved, a bit player, albeit, but I was involved in two major events that would have changed the course of destiny for our country. One, as I said, I was a bit player. I wasn't the shaker and mover. I wasn't the brain power behind it. But one was with the Contras. The issue with the Contras, the Nicaraguan resistance, that was about the spread of communism throughout Central America, working its way up to the border of the United States. And had they have won, had they have done what they set up.
We lost, you're here, but I don't know, we lost your sound, Larry. You're here, but we don't have your sound. I don't know if you can hear me. Larry helped start Judicial Watch with Larry Clayman. He knows of Tom Fitton like we do, but he has not, to my knowledge, interacted with him. Yes, Sandy, a new man in Christ Jesus, and Larry knows that he is forgiven by Jesus. I don't know what to do with Larry. We've lost his sound. Lost your sound. There he goes. All right. He'll be back in a minute. So Chris, I'm not going to ask him that because I don't think he knows. He's not really working with Judicial Watch, to my knowledge. So, and man-made weather, Sandy, he said that he knows it's possible, but doesn't know if it's happening.
Am I back?
You're back. Yep.
So anyway, I was there to participate in stopping it. The second thing in my life that I was involved with was telling the world and the country about Bill and Hillary Clinton. Again, I had a bit part. I wasn't everything. But I think anybody that remembers those days knows that nobody spoke out more publicly than I did, and much of the stuff that led to defeating Hillary in 2016 even, the stuff that came from me. So twice in this man's life, I was allowed to participate in defining moments for this nation. Now another one is coming. Another defining moment is coming. And I don't know now if I'm going to be here for it. But all of you will. Each and every one of you will be here for it, most probably. And I'm telling you today, you're going to have a choice. You can live a life in shame like I have done. Not for my two defining moments, not for fighting with the Contras and fighting the Clintons, not for that, but for the other stuff that I did for the government that wasn't right. And I live with that shame every day. In November 2020, each and every one of you are going to make a decision. You're either going to walk in and you're going to vote to re-elect President Trump and any and all other Republicans that you can get your hand on. Or, and I'm going to say this as politely as I can, you're going to commit an act of treason against this nation. And I mean that. If you vote for a Democrat, certainly for president, this election you have voted to end our way of life, end our government, and our way of life. And to me, that's treason. It may not, it may not meet the textbook definition of treason, but to me it does. And although I have little or no doubt in my mind, in my heart, that any of you would fail to support this country, I don't think you will. I know you'll do right, all of you here. But this is the thing that you've got to ask your friends. This is the thing, the people that are in the soft base that you know, this is what you've got to explain to them. They walk in that fine line. You flip that switch for anybody for president other than President Trump. You, whoever does that, whoever flips that switch to vote against President Trump, whoever that is, will have committed in my mind an act of treason against this nation, against our families, against our children, our grandchildren, and their grandchildren after that. This is serious. And it's up or down now. What you got, Mary Ellen? Any questions right quick? Just a couple until you have to go.
Yeah, we've got one. I thought I heard the car door, but they haven't come to the door yet. Do you know anything about the Iran generals that got together to plan war?
No.
Yesterday or today?
I'm sorry, what?
It happened either yesterday or today.
I know about it, and you know, Mary Ellen, because I've told you that, which I cannot tell the rest, that this was something inspired by, without going too far, by China. Remember what I told you? Correct? Do you remember? I hope.
Yes.
Okay. So, while I do not know about the meeting of the generals today, I do know that there is a movement in Iran, sponsored, I believe, by China to put pressure on President Trump to force him to lose the election in 2020 and to try to drag him into some military conflict with Iran. And by the way, guys, that's getting you very close to what I was trying to warn you about, that if it happened, I would have to explain it to you this weekend if y'all know what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
So yes, there's something going on, and it's very big, and it's very important to us. It's just I cannot at this time fill y'all in on the detail of it.
So, folks, there's
Anybody?
something more to pray about, and that's with what's going on between China's relationship with us and Iran's relationship with us, and any possible connection between them.
Mm-hmm. And if you knew what Mary Ellen knows, you would pray harder. I promise you. Any other questions, Mary Ellen?
Did Obama know that it's something about Trump's phone when he sat next to Obama during the transition? Did Obama know he was tapping?
Did he know he was being tapped?
Yeah.
Is that what you said, tapping or napping?
I said tapping. So
Okay.
it sounds like he's asking, was Trump's phone being tapped when they were sitting together during the transition? I don't quite
To my knowledge, that's all I can tell y'all. Let me rephrase it. In my opinion, based off my knowledge, I think it was. But if it picked up anything of national security interest covered by the National Security Act, it'll never be replayed. If it was something that would lead to a legal problem or issue for President Obama, it will never be replayed or heard. But I would believe it was tapped at that moment.
Larry, we have 9,909 subscribers, 9,099 subscribers. So yes, that's about the 9,100 that we knew yesterday. I thought if somebody was reporting a much bigger number than I thought, but they corrected it. So
Well, I appreciate y'all for subscribing and being a part of it. We will continue the program just as long as I am able. But that's all I can say at this time about that. Any other questions or comments?
One more question. Does Obama have security clearance?
Yes.
He still does? Okay.
Any president, for as long as they live, are covered with the cloak of a security clearance.
Wow. Even with treasonous deeds.
Well, the security clearance just allows them to have information, to possess information that could be used in treasonous activities. But yeah, they could. But we've never had a problem with a president. We thought Jimmy Carter was bad as a past president and potentially what he might tell other leaders or other people in other countries. We thought he was bad. Barack Hussein Obama makes him look like a choir boy. We've never had a president, I believe, my opinion only, we've never had a president that poses the national security risk that Obama does.
Can that clearance be revoked at all?
Well, not from a president, no. Past president, no. But steps are taken. The day of the transition, once he hands off the baton to the next president, his access to security information is halted. It is stopped unless he is invited by a sitting president and is told something. But as far as just getting information disseminated to him, no, it is halted the second he turns over the office to the next president.
What about Hillary's clearance?
her clearance, as I understand, to be honest, I've never really looked into the length of a Secretary of State and the length, but I think it would probably fall under the 11-year status.
11 year?
So I think, now that could be wrong.
Okay.
But again, once she leaves that office, she is not granted access to any information of any security interest beyond that of any other civilian in America. Not supposed to be.
The people are here to see the house.
Right.
I need to stop. Do you want to keep going, or you? I feel a little.
I think we need to turn it off now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you,
Right.
guys. Don't forget, just go to nicholslive.com, please, and do whatever you can do to help. Larry's PayPal. I'm going to say it today, Larry. You need it. His PayPal is nicholslive@aol.com. Anything you can send immediately is probably life-saving. So thank you for helping.
All right, y'all. If we can, we'll be here tomorrow. Bye.
Okay, bye.